Hey folks, it's Jim. I started a new hobby this year and I've got some bows. It's bow making. I wanted to be a little better prepper and a little more skilled at survival on my own, and so I decided to take up primitive bow making just as a little hobby for myself, and also I like working with wood. It's a great meditation, tillering and everything. So I thought I'd share that with you today. I'll get my tree out of the way. I'll bring you in here and show you some of the bows that I'm working on now, and one that's finished. This is diamondback. It's not real. This is artificial diamondback. You can back your bows with a lot of different things. But you can see this is just maple. It's not finished. The handle isn't even in there. It's just barely started. It does have the nocks, the arrow knock at the end to hold your string, but that's just so when you're tillering to your right weight, you can do it. The next one is just red oak. You can see this is a laminated handle, and I will tiller this down to what I want and carve it in and notch it if I want to for my handle, and then you wrap your handle with something else. I shoot off my hand. I prefer that. This one here is very thin, but it's going to be a recurve. And it's going to be a lightweight recurve so people can learn on. And I've got that one going. And then I just happened to run into a good run of oak. This one we have the handle laminated on there and shaped a little bit. And you got to shape your handle a little different depending on if you're a righty or a lefty, right? So, and that's, that one was really simple to do. And this is actually called a triangle bow. You can see how thick it is on the limbs as opposed to, say, this one. Maybe you can see the difference in how thick the limbs are, right? See how thin this limb is versus the triangle bow. So a lot different. Triangle bows you use for fishing too. You can make them a lot shorter and they'll have a lot of power. This is a tri-lam, bamboo, hickory, and another laminate inside. And this is a recurve. This is about ready to go. You can see it's a lot of different laminates going on there for the handle and everything. And the bamboo is a really strong backing and really takes the abuse. And this bow will probably last a lifetime without a doubt. And you can't abuse it, but it can take a lot of abuse. And so I wanted to try that as well. That's just another style I wanted to show. This one's finished. It's got an arrow rest in it, but for me, I'm not using arrow rests anymore. I decided I'm not doing that. And here we have copperhead backing, and again in the unfinished form. Only two of them are really ready to go, but I wanted to show you the differences really quick. And this is just my skill. I'm going to document this as I get better at building. I'll be documenting as we go along. We're going to put the tillering tree in, and we're going to show you what a finished bow looks like. Okay, we'll drop this down, and you see this, the string just fits in the little notches that I cut in there, and we'll put this up here. We'll get it balanced. Okay, and let's take a look at how that looks. Okay, see how those branches, both arms are pretty even. One flexes a little more than the other, and that's your upper arm. So your arm that flexes a little more naturally out of the wood that you've got than your other. So over here on the right, over here will be my upper arm, okay? And on the left, since it flexes a little bit less, it will be my lower arm. And when you go to string your bow, you always string your upper arm last, right? You put the string in the nock on the lower arm, and then you string your upper arm. So that's just something to know. That the tillering tree itself, I'll show you that. You can see I put a tape measure in there, and there's just nocks cut in it. So you can, depending on who is going to fire the bow, you're going to have different lengths of string, right? And the average person, male, shoots a 28-inch draw. Okay, so that's why I did this, so I can actually build the bow and measure it to my draw, or another person, specifically if they're using my tiller tree, they can measure it to their draw in the end and make sure that their bow is good to go. Because you got to work these bows in too, so, or else they'll just snap on you. But you can see that's all there is to a tillering tree. The most important tool you're going to have, other than your spoke shaves and other things. Okay. Now let's put another bow that's in working, that I'm working on right now. Let's put that in the tillering tree, and I'll show you why the tillering tree is so important. Okay, and this is the one that's got the handle laminated on it. We're going to set it in the tillering tree so it's even. We'll drop it down to, say, 11 inches. You don't want to go too far. I can go pretty far on this one right now because I've been working it, but I'm not going to go too far because I'm still tillering. But you can see one arm is a lot more flexed than the other arm, right? So now we can already tell which arm probably is going to be my upper and lower. But more importantly, what the tillering tree is telling me is that I've got to take more off over here, right? So that they flex the same and I come into the right poundage, right? And this one, I think, there we go. It was off a little bit, sorry about that. But you can see it needs work, a lot of work, right? But that's good. So I've got good flex, and it's getting close to the poundage that I want. And at the same time, I know what my upper and lower is, and now I can just continue to tiller, and tiller means taking a little bit of wood off, okay? And that's it. But I'm going to, as I get better and get better at doing this, I'll share more videos. I just wanted to record this series as my journey goes along. Maybe someone else might find this a skill for a prepper or survivalist or whatever, or just the beauty of making your own bow and then taking your own game. That's what the purpose of this is. This year I'm going to take a turkey. My goal is to take a turkey with a bow that I've made from nothing, from beginning to end, and no one else, just me. So that's something that I've wanted to do, and it's something that I'm working on. It's a skill that I'm working on. String making is a whole different story, so that'll have to be another video, but I just thought I'd share this in case somebody else wants to get into it. It's really not that difficult, but it does take patience and tolerance, and you need to get in touch with the wood and your own skill, right? And just be, you know, if you're into woodworking, it's there. If you're not, it's still a great meditation. I enjoy it, but overall it's just something I wanted to do. I hope to make 1 or 2 bows a year for the rest of my life. It's a great meditation for me, and thought someone else might enjoy this. It's not difficult. You can back them with all kinds of stuff, even canvas, just basic fabrics. The backing is very important so the bow doesn't shatter. Yeah, I thought I'd just share this today. It's a great thing to do, a great hobby, if you're into doing things like this. But I also just wanted better skills. The primitive bow making, flat bow making, long bow making, that sort of thing. I just wanted to be into it. And now I am, and just another skill that I'm developing. So hopefully I'll continue to document this as I move along. I'll do another video on making string as I get better at making string, because I'm not that good at it right now. And I'd really like to find some better ways of making string, because it's not easy. And you got to spend your time gathering your stuff, and then there's weaving and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, just another skill, and I hope you someone else out there might want to get into it. It's a great hobby, a great relaxation, and a great way to get in touch with the overall survival lifestyle. Jim out.